Barbara.
Gotta keep an entrance going. Hi, you guys. Well, hello.
Hi.
A lot of you I've met already this morning. Some of you I've met before. How swell. Thank you. Oh, one of these. I don't know if I need it or not, but we'll find out. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mostly.
Mostly? What about, wow, this one's heavy. Heavy chair. Hello.
Do you want me to move it?
Yeah, somebody has to move it. It's very heavy.
Want to go forward?
Yeah, please. Yeah, oh, nice. Okay.
I'm
hello.
stealing stuff out of your purse, don't worry.
Bring it down here. Hello, is this live?
Hello.
Yes.
Love it.
Hello.
We can hear you better with the microphone.
Yes,
Well, now I'll use the microphone.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
So we're here for a Q&A, and we're going to ask you guys for the cues. So anyone with questions can go ahead. Back there.
Hi Barbara, I'm just wondering over your career, is there a role that you auditioned for, or a role that you would love to have done but didn't get the chance?
you know, I don't hear you well.
He's asking if there's a role that you had a chance to do or audition for, but that you didn't get, and you.
Oh, there are lots of those.
I mean, there are always those.
Most of them, if they got somebody who was very good, I didn't.
Turn it towards the wall.
Yeah,
This?
yeah,
Yes.
just like
I'm
10,
not a
15
techie, I don't know
degrees.
what to do.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. The sound of the microphone's being picked up a bit. by
Okay.
the
Sight,
speaker.
Do you think that's better?
We'll find out.
Well,
Okay.
say something for it.
Testing.
Yes,
So the question about, hello, can you hear me? Well, there are a lot of those, because you're up for a lot of things, and sometimes you really want them, don't get them. And I never minded if a good actress got it, then it was okay. When somebody not so hot got it, I was really pissed off. I was like, oh, come on. But you adjust, that's part of what we do, is to get turned down a lot. You get used to it, it's called rejection. And it's just part of it. You gotta live with it. Yeah, you know, an actor has to have the skin of an armadillo and the soul of a poet. And that doesn't usually come in the same person. So it's a little odd combination. You need that skin to survive, and you need that person inside that can create. So it's an odd combination that's required. That's the best I can tell you about it.
Okay, thank you.
Next question. If you guys don't have any, we're going to be.
Yes, hi.
Let's go, ladies first. Yes.
Yeah. Was there any particular scenes in Space 1999 that were emotionally difficult to get through?
That's never, pardon me, that's not a difficulty for me. That's very accessible. My instrument is trained to do that, like that. I know how to do that.
The one time I had a kind of funny moment, and the whole episode was a little funny for many reasons. Pardon me, and I have this cough, which is not contagious, so don't get scared. I've had it by 15, it's my cough. It's not going anywhere. Anyway, smoke for a couple of years, you'll find out. Anyway, what I'm talking about is the one where I played an ape.
Oh. I watched it just last week.
Well, I had to make some kind of guttural sound, but I wasn't sure what that was. So I kind of went up in the dressing room before the shot and made a crazy sound. I said, oh, okay, I got some. Because I didn't know what would happen. I had no idea how to make a really guttural, animalistic sound. One doesn't do that a lot. Maybe you do. I don't know. But anyway, That's the funny part of that episode, was my teenage daughter. I went home with the makeup, the hair, the stuff, because I was kind of late. I wanted to get home for dinner.
The unibrow, the
Sorry?
unibrow too.
I'm
The
sorry.
unibrow too.
I still did not hear
The
you.
unibrow too.
Oh, all of it, yes. I really was very good. I was a cave woman, I guess. She had her first date. Coming over for dinner, which I didn't know. This is Mom. That wasn't nice to do to a kid. Anyway, that was kind of funny behind the scenes what happened. Yeah, unibrow, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Did somebody else have a hand up?
Somebody did, yes, sir. Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi.
If you had your choice to be able to write an actual ending to Space 1999, would you have preferred the Alphans somehow get back to Earth, or would you have preferred they find some new Earth to populate?
Well, the question's never been put to me because that's not my department. You know, the film business is very stratified in relation to what
Oh, I
you do.
understand, just from
But
your
I,
opinion.
okay, if I think about it, probably it would, I think it would be kind of swell to find a new planet. Maybe, I don't know. We certainly tried.
Several times.
Nobody wanted us. They wanted to eat us. That wasn't good, but we did have a baby one, so
Yeah.
there was hope. It was very special, that idea of trying to find a home once we had wrecked ours,
Right.
which, by the way, we're kind of doing, so, I don't know.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, never mind, let's stay happy. So, that's the best I can answer if I think about it.
I like it.
Okay, let's go.
Somebody back there? I saw a hand.
Yeah, I just wanted a comment on what you were saying about how, like, I think maybe it's why Space 1999 endures is because of the state of the planet.
Because of,
The way the world is going now, you know, that we look back to it's almost hopeful.
yeah, well, that's a good thought. It certainly was what drew us to doing it,
Right.
was the way it was, the whole concept of the stupid idea of putting atomic waste on the moon. But we've done some stupid things. I don't know why it prevails, but I'm very, very moved that it does. I mean, after all, something I did 50 years ago still has resonance, and it means a great deal. It's hard to really comprehend. The power of television is just extraordinary when you consider it, and you consider the possibilities and how it has, this show played all over the world and still does. It's just amazing. You are all amazing, by the way. Yes, I see.
We have one right over there.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, when after the first season they didn't pick up the second, did you go home to America until they?
I'm sorry, after the first season, what?
Did you go home? Did you come back to America?
Yes. Did I?
Yeah.
We did.
Okay.
We went back and forth. I guess that time, yes. Yes.
And then when you went back to London again, you moved into a different house than you stayed in during the first year.
Yes, we were in two different houses in London, both of great interest and fabulous. And both the people there were just so wonderful. It was a very special time in London. I don't know now, I could never not. That time, it was the kindest big city I've ever been in. I grew up in a big city, Chicago. Not necessarily kind. Rough. City of big shoulders, hog butcher to the world. That's what Carl Sandburg called it. It was kind of nothing like in New York. I lived in only large urban areas at that time. London, I I never met such a big city with so many nice people. I couldn't get over it. I watched so many acts of kindness in the street. What they used to call, guess who got there? Used to call the older people old age pensioners. And those folk, which I'm now somewhat identified with, all of a sudden, like that, somebody'd leave something or something, and they'd run after it, or have this for dinner, or they'd leave, couldn't have enough money, and they'd help them. Just everywhere, people were helping people. I was very moved by all of that. Very particular moment in time. I don't know if it still has that grace, but I was very moved by it.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I answered your question.
You did, you did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Barbara, I was going to
Yes.
pick up on what you were saying before. Obviously, you're sitting in a room of people who analyze your every move from 50 years ago. You watch every scene over and over. And you're an award-winning actress.
Yes.
Are there other things that you want us to pay attention to that you've done?
Other things, in what way?
Other shows or other things that you would like us to analyze, perhaps?
Other programs that
Other-
you've done that
other
you'd like us to
programs.
be aware of, to go look out and see.
Oh,
That you consider extra special?
Mission Impossible.
everything I've ever done.
Can I just say
I've
that
had a glorious time doing stuff I love to do. Every single role is a challenge. Every one of them is like a puzzle. And I'm a puzzle person. I like to figure out, oh, how does this work? How does this lady fit in, or this girl fit into this? So it's kind of a mosaic in me of how many different characters I've played. I think they cut me open, all these people are gonna fall out. You know, because it's just a wonderful journey. It's a craft that I adore. I love the people in it. I found something that I love early in life, early enough. And I wish everybody to find a passion in life. If you have a passion in life, you can't no quarrel with anything. And I have had that. I've had the passion and the response early when I was young. And the hit show going on called Mission Impossible. Wow. Big explosion. And everything since. So it's hard for me to answer you in any other way. And then looking back at every one of them, it's been its own puzzle to figure out. Early on, when I first came to Los Angeles, I played a lot of dumb blondes. That was a character study, because I am not a dumb blonde. There never was a dumb blonde. But that's what they were writing. Oddly enough, if I think about it, I say I'm not a big saver. I'm a big out the window fast. I don't want it anymore, whatever it is. I kind of don't collect too much stuff. And even so, you get collected with a lot of stuff. But anyway, I noticed that almost every character I played, there were 3 or 4 of them in a row, different writers. And it would say, enter Lisa. She's tall, blonde, and willowy. And boy, is she stacked. Come on, fellas, there were men writing them, and that was the girl. And then I had to find a way to bring something different to each of those girls, even though they were written pretty much the same. And when Bruce Geller wrote An Intelligent Woman on television, ooh, everybody went crazy. Absolutely crazy. And of course, I was in heaven. That was a moment in time. And it had a profound effect on young women across the country and the world who began to make career choices because they saw a strong woman on television. well, that's just phenomenal. So by now, I receive letters from people who say, I joined NASA because of watching you, and now I'm retiring. Well, that's just amazing. You're raising your hand. Why?
I work for NASA and.
Oh.
And I remember exactly where I was when I saw the pilot for Space 1999.
See, that is fascinating to me, and it's very moving to know to have an effect on somebody you don't know somewhere in the world. And of course, when you're working, you're this way. You're not looking out. You're kind of looking inward, and it's a very this kind of thing. And then you look up and find all this response. It's just stunning. And I'm so glad to know that. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to piggyback on that because I wanted to ask you the forming of that character, Helena, on the show. Was it initially written that way? Your hair design, the whole package, or did you take the character and approve upon it as from the page to the screen?
Well, there were conversations, obviously, with Sylvia and Jerry. They came to visit us in California, and we talked about it. Clearly, she was educated, well, character. She had a big job running the medical situation, and so I decided, I didn't even mention this with them, but I decided for myself that her father, my father, had cured cancer. So now I have a big obligation to do something quite wonderful in the world, and was measuring myself against that parent. My father did not cure cancer, by the way, at all. But you know what I'm saying? So some of those choices were just related to what was presented, and then I take them and go with them. I can kind of go from that feeling. The costumes were done by Rudy Gernreich, as you know, and that was a question of Sylvia's mentioning in our home that day, pardon me, that the only American designer she was interested in, if possible, she knew he was retired by then, was Rudy Gernreich. I said, well, he's been a friend of mine forever. Rudy and I met in New York when he first showed his first collection to the woman who was a terrifying woman who ran Harper's Bazaar at the moment, Diana Vreeland. I was there as a model being seen, and he was there to show his clothes. And we were both skinny, and we were both scared, and we were both very young. And he was so excited to show me, what do you think? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're okay? And he opened up the stuff he had on a rack. They were gorgeous, and they were based on dance. And I was a dancer. So I kept going, oh, I love the work. That cheered him up. He told me he thought I was pretty good looking, and I was going to do all right. So we were like these two little kids in the outer office of this very powerful woman, totally panicked. That moment is how long I knew Rudy. He became very successful. I did what I did, but we kept touch all through the years. He visited us in London, so I said, oh, I can call Rudy, maybe he'll do it. And he had retired, and the interesting thing about Rudy Gernreich, he was a philosopher at heart. And I said to him, what do you think we'd be wearing in 1999? And he said, armor. Think about it. Think about it. But he said, I can't do that because you can't act in it. So that's how how the uniforms were designed by Rudy. Made, it was very complicated, but they worked it all out. So that's those elements that happened prior to us shooting. And that thing about Rudy was was just perfect, because I knew him well. And she was very happy about it.
What about your iconic hair?
Oh, well, I guess that was worked out with the hairdresser. We really couldn't find anything so startling to do. There's a lot of startling things have happened since with hair, which I could have done. But we didn't do those. We just did I don't know what we did. We just did what we did. I don't know that it had any deep meaning or anything. It was just my hair, you know. And what else? Not much else. That was it. Hair, uniforms. What else you asked me?
Oh, just the strength of your character. I mean, it was a very, I mean,
You liked it.
you were
You liked
second
it.
in command, really, when you
Good.
think about it.
Oh, cool. Well, it had to be something that, yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think how much time we spent on that. Not so much. Why I don't have a big answer for it. A big hair answer. I don't have a big hair answer.
I see Stephen has a question.
Hi.
Yes.
I have a 50-year-old question I had as a kid, and I always wanted to ask you, continuity-wise, you had a pinky ring on your finger throughout the first season.
I had a what?
A pinky ring on your finger.
Oh, yeah?
It was on your pinky throughout the first season, and when we did get to meet your husband during that time, you kind of played with it. I just thought, continuity-wise, throughout the season, you had that. Was that your own personal ring you always had?
Must have been.
Must
It
have
wasn't
been.
costume.
I didn't think it was a continuity
No, it
thing.
wasn't costume.
Okay. So I was wondering, yeah, was it a personal?
Yes.
Okay.
Little diamond ring?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was your wedding band from your husband, but I thought it was a great continuity thing, but.
Oh, cool.
But I waited 50 years to ask that question.
I'm sure someone would have a photograph of that ring to
Really?
show Barbara if someone were to try to pull one
Oh,
up. on
everybody
your
look
phone.
online, find it.
And yes, we have a question right over there.
Yeah, Barbara, I was wondering, was there any time when you got a script and you said, Dr. Russell wouldn't do that, or Dr. Russell wouldn't say that, and you got them to change it to be consistent with what you knew?
Not really. We had a lot of discussions early on, not about that issue. I'm trying to think of that. No, I don't think so. But we did have some early discussions with the writers who were very good, but also very trained traditionally in the dramatic form. And television is not a traditional dramatic form because it has, I don't know now, but 4 breaks. It doesn't just tell a story, get to a big moment, and then end. That's what normal classical form is. You got commercials, honey. You got commercials all along the way, and you gotta have what they call a cliffhanger. So something very exciting has to happen, otherwise they're gonna leave the room. So you got to keep breaking up the script until you climb up to. Well, that's not an easy idea to translate when you're not you don't write that way.
Right.
So we had to kind of bring them into that idea, us Americans, we knew what television was. Now, Lord Lou, he became, Sir Lou, became Lord Lou. He wasn't even Sir, he was just Lou when we first met. He didn't care about the American market, really. He wanted the universal market. He was the first person who thought of the universal market. So we weren't geared to hit the American deadlines for production. And because they built that set, which was as big as this room, well, a standing set in a television series is usually as big as this part of this room. So you can get in and get out in half a day. That's traditional here. Sometimes now you see a bigger set. That set, well, it took 2 days to shoot it instead of half a day. But again, he didn't care, Luke Gray. Wasn't meeting a deadline. So we had the luxury of that extraordinary set, as opposed to a quick, kind of thing. Now, when we're talking about something else, I got off to the set, which was.
So you never got a script and said, oh, Dr. Russell would not do that. That's not consistent with my character.
No, so it wasn't about anything the character had to do or not do. I never had a problem with that, that I can recall.
Okay.
And I would.
You had script approval. I mean, you couldn't say.
But it was a question of script structure was the first kind of issue we had to meet about and make some awareness of the television structure. And of course we had some history with that, so hey, listen, it was important to have that meeting. And what else, I don't know. I don't know if I answered your question at all. My rambling, I must be hungry.
Did you like Dr. Russell? Did you like her?
Oh, you can't not like a character.
Okay.
You cannot not, if you, even playing all those dumb blondes. I had a acting teacher in New York, a very special person besides Lee Strasberg. And when I started getting those roles, he said to me, pick the character, pick her up tenderly. Oh, what a nice idea. Instead of, oh God, I gotta play this woman. You can't, if you separate, you can't do it.
Right.
You can't be judgmental. Because the person isn't judgmental about being, a gangster's ball. She thinks she's got it made, so to get inside that person, you can't be separated at all.
Thank you.
We have a question right in the front.
Yeah, can you talk about working with some of your special guest stars, Christopher Lee, Roy Dotrice, Joan Collins?
Heaven. Absolute heaven. Being in England and working with Maggie Leighton, Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee is the tallest man it was at the time in London. And they put him on an apple box. He'd never been on, an apple is a thing on the set where you make a person taller. Pardon me. Christopher Lee, we have a scene together. He had to be twice as tall as he was. They put him on an apple box, and I had to talk to him like this. And he was tickled by the whole thing. He thought it was very funny. He's a very sweet guy. And there we were. Christopher Lee, very special guy. Like I say, Maggie Leighton. There were so many people from the theater.
Roy Dotrice?
Roy Dotrice was a darling man. I adored him. Just adored him. He was just lovely. And I saw a play he did. He came to Broadway and did a one-man show on King Charles II, I believe, and it was very funny and very good. Roy Dotrice, yeah, you have to help me.
Joan Collins?
Huh?
Joan Collins?
Well, Joan I kind of know, but we didn't work together, but I kind of know her anyway, because we run into each other through the years. And there we are. Hi. She's still there, and so am I.
What about Brian Blessed?
He's not again. Very impressive fellow with a deep voice and a big chest. Yes, he's lovely. Just lovely. I like saying his name. Brian Blessed. What a nice name.
In terms of great actors, what about Billy Whitelaw?
Oh, Billy. Oh, God, now I'll cry. Billy and I were going to do something together in the theater. Billy died. Billy did Beckett. She did not I. I went to see her in it. Oh, she was extraordinary. She was just beautiful, beautiful actress and lovely person. They were very special. They were well trained, all of them, and loved working. And I can't think of any one of them who wasn't fun to be around.
Peter Cushing.
At who?
Peter Cushing.
I met him here, not there. I did something with him here. I think he was on the Mission Pilot or something, or somewhere here. And there was, I'm trying to think of who else was there that was from the theater. They loved working in television, and they liked, they had these theatrical careers.
very special folks. Every one of them. That was nice. That was a gift. Nothing better than acting with a good actor. Believe me. It's tough otherwise. It's an uphill struggle.
Yeah, at the back. Oh, Paul.
Yeah, just speaking of working with people to veer to a more recent project, how is working with Billy Crystal?
Oh! Thank you. That was fun. Pardon me. I'm laughing because the whole experience was very fast. I got on a plane, got off, got into wardrobe, makeup, hair, set, did the scene, went home. But what was fun was it was very complex writing, beautiful piece of writing, just beautiful. I kind of recommended it to a woman for some other shows because she's very, very talented. So the writing was very complex, and that's why I wanted to do it. And it had all these little changes in it. And I got every one of them in. So I was very happy with myself. I was so happy with myself, I should have been arrested. I was too happy with myself. I got on the plane coming back, and I was so happy with myself. And then I thought, well, for God's, I said to myself, Keely, you're at the top of your game. And then I thought, for God's sakes, if you aren't by now, what the heck is what is it? If you're not now, I mean, where you go? So I pulled down a little bit. And I love him. He's lovely. I've known him a long time ago. We used to cross kind of friends and stuff and see each other. And he was serious because he was playing a serious role. And I was his unlovable mother-in-law. He didn't like me. And when I found out who he was, because I was having a little trouble with that in the scene, I didn't like him either. So it was an interesting piece of work. Thank you for asking. It was fun doing.
The show that's being referred to, for anyone who doesn't know, is called Before. It's a series starring Billy Crystal, and it's on Apple TV.
Apple Plus TV.
Apple Plus TV.
He gave himself a plus. Okay.
More questions?
Anything else? That's enough
Yes,
about
you're in the
me
front.
already. Can I ask about you?
We have one right here in the front.
Oh, sorry. Look at her pretty hair.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was wondering, when you first started Space 1999, did you do any research for the character, like medical research?
Medical research. No. I even didn't do any moon research. You know, I just said, I'm a doctor, okay. I know all this stuff. The interesting thing was, I had all that medical stuff to say. And most of the time, it would be said while somebody was on the floor. I would read all those things we had, which, by the way, some of which we now have medically. Some of those scans and some of those things. And I would be reading them on the rise with the camera. So I spent half of my life saying medical things while moving. Okay. You know, I know at the end, I didn't need to. I really felt I did not really need to. I've been around enough doctors. What's a doctor? A doctor is a person, and a woman doctor is who she is. She's made it through medical school, and all the rest of it is a woman. What's a doctor? You can't just play a doctor. She's a particular person. A doctor gets a headache. Doctor didn't get lunch, is hungry, like I am. Things like that are what's important to anybody, no matter what they're doing. And that's what starts to be part of the time, what's happening in that scene. And, you know, she got a headache, and she got a serious problem. That's a doctor. Has to still doctor you, even though she has a terrible migraine. So there's all of that. It's much more specific about the person as opposed to the title.
It's like playing a cop. What cop? What was his record? Is his wife leaving him? And he just found out, and now he's got to do some kind of interrogation. So all the effects of life, just general, people, what they're going through, you want to own that, not so much medical knowledge. I don't need, they're going to write me the medical knowledge, you know what I'm saying? That's in essence how I can answer you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, right over there.
I see an arm but not a face.
It's Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Who was the acting coach who told you to treat your characters with tender hands?
Who told me what?
To treat your characters with tender hands. You just
Kurt Conway.
Okay.
Tenderly
Tenderly.
is what he said. I never forgot it. He also said, we were all young actors. He always said, make the bloodiest choice. Not the easy choice, the bloodiest choice. It'd be wet, it'd be red, and it'd be messy. That kind of choice makes something alive. Don't be nice. Not about a nice choice. I think I like this cup. No, what's in this cup? Poison. Oh, that's a whole other thing, isn't it? Oh, and who put it there? So, okay, I don't know. You put poison in my cup? So, what I'm saying is, that was another one of those actor things that got you going, and the stakes would be high, as opposed to just having a nice chat about murdering somebody. Or whatever it was. Anyway, that's part of the craft that I love. Yes,
It's Brian from
with an eye.
Yes, ma'am. Of all the episodes of Space 1999, do you have one in particular that is your favorite?
I could not begin to pick. There's no way you can pick. They're like, every one of them is everything I've ever done. It's that moment in time, it's that figuring that character out, it's that pleasure of doing it. There's something about acting which is rather strange, in case you haven't noticed, or I have noticed. There's something about time. When I'm engaged in acting, it's not like you can stop time, because time can't stop it. It's almost like touching it. It's a hard thing to explain, but that's the feeling, like you're really just touching time. You're right there. And it's it's kind of an exquisite pleasure, and a little weird. I'm sorry, but it is. If you think about it. You don't have to think about it. I think about it. Yes.
We were asking about some of the guest stars a little while ago. I wanted to ask about some of the co-stars that you had throughout the series. If we mention a couple of names, if you have any recollections or thoughts. How about Barry Morse?
Who?
Barry Morse.
Oh God, what a sweetheart. Just a sweetheart. He brought us in so we would understand where we were. He brought us in a headline from the press, the British press. It said, "Storm in the Channel. Continent isolated." Not Britain. The continent was isolated. So we knew where we were. It was right away. We just said, this is this bunch of people anyway. And Barry was wonderful. Lovely, lovely, lovely man. Yes.
Xenia Merton.
Who?
Xenia Merton.
Oh, again, a darling girl. Cute as a button. Lovely. They're amazing people. Yeah. Amazing, every one of them. I don't have anything except that. Yeah. All good feeling. I can't think of any non-lovely person. They were all particularly well cast in the roles, very eager to work, happy to work, like most actors are. And I don't have that much of a complaint about any of them.
Awesome. Next question. Oh, we've got
Yes.
two at the same time.
So I heard you didn't like wearing the space suits.
I didn't like it. Is that what you asked me?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't like it. I don't like that thing on my face. Not the suit, the helmet.
The helmet.
The helmet.
But once I committed to it, I did it. I suffer from a certain amount of claustrophobia. Have my whole life. I deal with it generally through the years differently. I used to be very, very embarrassed about it until I did a show on Mission Impossible where they locked me up, and Bruce wrote it because of that. Now, of course, when you're shooting it, it's set. I was in a set, but the door is open because they have to get the camera in. So that was all acting. But the thing that happened out of that show is people all over the world would stop me and say, they'd start to talk like that. I saw that show where they locked you up, you know, then they're having a small attack of claustrophobia while telling me about it. The reason I mention it is because that made me understand that it's not uncommon. A lot of people deal with it, and I didn't feel as really troubled by the fact that I couldn't seem to undo it. And given all of that, why am I saying all that? The helmet. Well, I had the same thing. I did Samuel Beckett's Happy Days, which is a very, very most demanding role in the literature for a woman. Samuel Beckett was a very demanding writer, a poet. It's a single woman on the stage for an hour and a half talking, which I can do. I'm good at that. With locked up in a mound of dirt. So the first act, the dirt is up to her neck, up to her waist. And the second act, it's up to her neck. So we didn't need a third act. We know what's going to happen. So, okay, I was locked into it. I had to crawl under the set. This was theater. Get into that mound. Have it locked onto me and talk for an hour. Beautiful, beautiful language. And again, once I committed to doing it, I got used to it. Once I was going to do it, okay, face it. And little by little, I could get used to it in the rehearsal process. The same thing with the helmet. I got used to it. I never liked it. I wanted to get it off, but I think I could get it off myself. That was the other thing I did with the Beckett piece. I didn't want to rely on a stage manager to unlock it. So I just asked, is there a way that I could do it? Because it's all about control, I guess. You know, whatever. We're not going to analyze me for that.
One other part of the spacesuit.
Now that I solved that problem.
One other part of the spacesuit I remember you talked about before was the ankle piece, and how every time you would take a step, the ankle piece would.
Oh, it was hard to walk in them. Obviously,
Yeah.
we weren't. It was a little ungraceful, but okay, you walked in them. I mean, they guys did it. You know, the astronauts. I don't know if you know this. The original astronauts came onto the set of Mission Impossible. They were like kids. They were so excited about coming onto the set. And one of them walked up to the camera, which was a big Mitchell camera, you know, and he opened it and he looked in and he looked out and he looked in again and he looked at us and he said, "Sprockets?" He couldn't believe that the film was being pulled by sprockets. Because they had something much more exciting to do, I guess. And they was really sweet, but he couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Absolutely couldn't believe it. So why am I bringing that up? I have no idea.
I think the next question is Rebecca.
So my curiosity was piqued. What questions would you ask Space 1999 fans?
What I would ask you, I don't know how to ask. I ask you a lot when I meet you. I'm interested in the diversity in people. And where, I can't ask you except individual, where are you from? How'd you grow up? What's your life been like? What are you doing? I'd be much more interested in that than talking about myself, frankly. So really, after a while, you just don't want to hear yourself talking about yourself. But I'm very interested in people. Always have been. How come you do your hair like that? How come you wear those shoes? Well, oh, where'd you grow up? What kind of school did you go to? A military father. Was he tough? You know, I just want to, and the diversity is extraordinary. And that's so exciting that I see people and meet people who are from all kinds of different worlds, and yet you come together over something. That's amazing to me. I'm like a kid about that. It's like, oh, wow. So I appreciate that about you all. And the fact that one of the things about what I found out is that you guys look after each other in many ways. Some of you here know each other very well for years and you've looked after each other. I didn't know that. Wow, that's very, very impressive to me that you bonded over something that I've been involved in, but meanwhile have looked after each other all these years, because it's a lot of years. Wow, so to hear me saying that aspect, I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, you sure.
You know, really, yes.
Yes.
Well, I want to piggyback on that. I'm a film editor in the industry, and this show had, at the age of, I'm trying to think the years now, 9, at the age of 9, you know, the opening sequence of the first season was very impactful because I've discovered now, looking back on it, like it really influenced me, and now being an editor, I know how hard it is to put that sequence together on every single episode. You had a little tease of what you were gonna see coming up, and that was one of the things I missed in season 2, not having that opening sequence. So to turn it around on you, and I know you weren't involved in it, but a clip has shown up online just recently of you standing there and doing that iconic turn, which is what you autograph now, that iconic turn looking in the camera. That shot right there, go ahead and show it the other way. You know, actually online, that clip is now there, the raw dailies. Do you remember, or you had a lot of influence in the making of the show? Did you have any influence in that opening sequence, or did you just stand there and they said, look at camera and look away?
That was Lee Katzen, who directed the pilot, the original first show. He was somebody we knew from here, and I had worked with Lee before, and whatever he said, I did. One of the few people's persons in the world that I listen to. Remember, most of the time, people don't tell me what to do. But a director, yes. Oh, here we are. You know, I listened to a director. Lee was a very good director. The funny thing about that title card with September 13th was kind of an in-house joke, because that was my birthday, but nobody knew that out front, and we weren't advertising it. It was just there.
So is that how it came up?
Yeah, it was like an in-house kind of ha-ha. Look what happened. It blossomed into the entire world knowing my birthday. I can't tell anybody that I'm 50 anymore. Out of the question. They got me, yes.
Barbara, I've worked in the film industry myself for a very long time, since '84. I always love hearing great, funny stories about, like, some shot that took a very long time to do, and it was really simple, but you had to do so many takes, like the famous turnaround. Were you standing on a little turntable, or did you just have to turn your body?
No turn down.
You were just standing and turning your body to face them? How
I'm a
many times
dancer.
did you have to do that?
I'm a dancer.
Huh?
Once.
Only once?
Well, I don't know, not a lot. I'm not one for a lot of things.
Right. Well, that's what I mean.
I grew up in television.
Yeah.
Ain't no
Well, you have to
time
do
to fool
everything quick.
around. We just
You
gotta
get
do
maybe
it.
2 shots at it before they go, moving on.
Well, you know, the one shot you all heard about it was when we did Charlie Crichton who is a wonderful, wonderful director and funny guy, who pretended he was a curmudgeon, but he really was a sweetheart. And we had that episode, you all know the name, I don't.
Space Parade.
With the phone.
Oh my God, the phone.
The phone. Well, Charlie, so laugh. He's in the middle, we're where we are, the foam is rising up, and he starts yelling, "Stop the foam!" But they didn't.
Oh no.
So the foam is, "Stop the foam!" And pretty soon Charlie's covered up. We're all covered up. And nobody ever stopped the foam. It was hysterical. And of course, because the size of that shit, they had to clean it all up, start all over again.
Oh my
It
God.
took another week, but or so. But Charlie's voice, way over there, going, "Stop the foam!" Still makes me laugh.
When I've seen that episode, I always think to myself, being a behind the scenes person, I keep thinking, oh my God, it's gonna take forever to clean the sets and the floors and the carpets and the costumes.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God, I'm surprised they even said yes to doing that episode because of that.
Well, there were all those things that were very, when you use Fuller's Earth,
Yeah.
use stuff like that.
Oh God, yeah. It's a mess.
It's all a mess, but it's all, you know, film crews are amazing, amazing. I wish people who could do your, no, other industries are not respectful the way the film crews are of each other's craft.
Yeah.
So nobody's gonna walk through with a painter just painting.
Mhm.
They will if they're doing your house. The plumber will walk where the electrician just screwed up the light. So that'll happen in any of the regular world, but never on a film set. There's respect for each trade. It's very deep and carried out, and that's kind of elegant in a way, and very, very fine to see how.
And because you'll get yourself into a lot of trouble with the different unions if you get in somebody else's business.
You'll get fired.
Exactly.
Trouble.
But being a prop maker, you have the problem as, well, if I pick it up and move it from one place to another, it's a prop. But if it's just laying there, it's set dressing. But if it needs an electrical cord and needs to be turned on, then it's electrical. So it's like, what is it?
Well, this is a problem. I'll tell you two funny stories about that. One is in a mission. We're out in the desert, and I open my trailer, and there's a dead horse. Horse dead.
Oh no.
Dead. Horse right there, dead. And the wrangler was really kicked off because the horse died. He's kicking it. Oh my God, damn horse. Well, he's just living. You know, that's his life. And he's kicking the horse.
Oh.
So I say, well, is somebody gonna get a blanket or something and cover up the horse? It ain't my department. So nobody would get a blanket for this horse. It was nobody's department. That horse lay there for a whole day in the sun.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was nobody's department. I'd come back to the trailer, horses are out back in the trailer. Anyway, nobody's department. There was nobody who was. Now, on the other hand, I've been doing this for a long time, this work. So one day, I was being given an award on live television, some kind of commendation for something I did for the reading program or something. So I arrive, it's a live show, shot at CBS when it was still CBS. And
Television City?
Fairfax, yeah. And I walk in, and I find out, okay, the announcer's there, where's my mark, where do I go? He says my name, I go out, he gives me something, says nice things, I say thank you, and I go back, and I've been doing this so long, I go, who's props? And they laugh at me. That's what happened.
Wow.
You know, that's the life of an actress.
Now you take that home.
Yes.
Do we have any more questions? Yes, we do. Right back there.
Yes? Who that? Oh, hi.
I'm Bryce, Moonbase Alpha Associated Press.
Another red shirt.
So Barbara, I wanted to know about the episode. I know it's been a long time since you filmed it, but Brian the Brain, you and Martin are having a lot of scenes with a motorized, self-programming, self-monitoring computer, and the computer wants to know if you and your character and Martin's character are in love. And there's all this trickery, and he's just trying to take advantage of you. I'm just wondering, during the filming of this episode, if you remember, was it hard to act with Brian the Brain, the computer on wheels, and was that funny? You know, causing you to crack up a lot with Martin?
You know, it was all, we never had anything up on that screen. So we were always acting with that blank screen they put in the special effect. So we never saw those monsters.
That's Brian the Brain.
Just showing her a picture of Brian the Brain.
So he was not on a screen. He was
No, I understand. I'm just saying. That's not what I was saying. I'm saying that we were used to acting with odd situations. The screen, we never saw those monsters till afterward. We never saw them till it was finished. So we were, oh my God, look what's coming. Oh, yeah. Okay, same thing with Brian the Brain. What the heck? It's another thing that was threatening. That's all. It could be anything. It could be an ape as far as they're concerned. or what? Something terrible. If he was terrible, I would make him terrible, whatever it was. And not only that, he was a little weird. You just find your way to make that what it has to be, that's all.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure he was definitely weird. I was just wondering if, maybe off camera they were telling dirty jokes through Brian the Brain.
How would I tell you that?
We would hope you will.
No. I'm not a gossip person. I'm not good at that. I don't like to listen to it, and I don't like to do it. It's just not my thing. Let it be. But anyway, no, I will not tell you anything bad about anybody, because unless they're dead. Maybe I would tell you, but I don't know. I mean, they're people, I can't talk about people like that. Talk to me.
Another question? Lindsay? No? Any other questions? Yes, back there.
So, it's been 50 years, so I won't be surprised if you don't remember too much.
I won't hear you unless you come up with it.
Come on up.
Come on up. Yeah, really.
Come on now.
Well, that's enough.
There you go.
That's cool. Yeah.
So it's been 50 years. I won't be surprised if you don't remember too much about it. But my favorite episode from the first year is a little thing called The Last Sunset, which has interesting issues around Alpha becoming habitable because of alien intervention, the moon becoming habitable. But one of the things that I particularly liked about that episode was that Dr. Russell got to take a sort of command position. She was in charge of an eagle, and she was in charge of the people on the eagle. Do you have any memories about that episode, or did it feel like a change of pace at all for you?
Again, I don't look at anything much from the past. I just don't. Every once in a while something pops up and I go, oh. But I don't seek it out. And I don't know exactly what you're speaking about, really, as much as you do. And that's what's fascinating to me. I'm so much in the now person. I just don't kind of dwell on, other than, I don't know. I don't remember the name of the title. Was a beautiful title. The Last Sunset was quite an
When the moon had
idea.
an atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's
So
starting
that-
to rain.
Yes. So, okay, but I don't know what the rest of it. I failed you, I'm sorry.
No, fair enough. I mean, I don't remember things from 50 years ago either.
No.
Install the movie. Thanks, Roger.
But I do know what I had for breakfast. That's the thing to keep track of at a certain time.
Yes.
That makes me think of a question. I know that a lot of actors say, oh, I've never watched the show I was in because I don't want to see myself on screen. When you were filming the show, did they ever, when they finally get an episode put together, show it to you? So
I saw everything I've ever done. I'm not one of those actors. When I was very young and did mission, Bruce let me see the daily. Every single day, we'd see yesterday's stuff. Now they see it on camera. And it was incredibly helpful to me. And I was able to see what I thought I had done, and oh, it looked like that, I thought I did, and kind of make little adjustments and learn. I really learned so much from seeing that every single day. And I could separate by then me and whatever was going on upstairs. You know, in terms of ego, in terms of work, that wasn't what was important. What was important was what was coming across that I thought I was doing. Oh, not exactly. That looked like a spurt, not like a smile, or whatever, a little. And then, of course, that just I've always looked at it. But I don't look at it forever. I don't look at it a lot. Once I've seen it, in fact, I do the same thing. I cannot see a movie over again. I saw the movie. A theater, I can go to the same show any number of times, because it's live, it's going to be different. No matter what, it's going to be different. But I know the movie. Why am I going to see it again? I know people love to see movies over and over again, and you guys like to look at the show. I know it. But actually, I just found out I don't. So, I mean, I could find it if I wanted to. But you know what I'm saying? It's just a different kind of way of dealing with it. But yes, I've seen everything I've ever done. I wouldn't not see it. Why would I not see it? I did something. Let's see what the number one. What did they cut? Okay. Oh, there used to be a wonderful. What was her last name? Ruth. Oh Lord. I can't think of her name. Gordon. Ruth Gordon. Exactly. Who said that?
Ding, ding, ding.
Wow. Thank you. She used to say, how do you pick a role? Or turn it down and say, well, it's got to have a finish. If it doesn't have a finish, I don't want to do it. Well, yeah, what happens to the character? Is there anything at the end? Is there a payoff? It's a good idea to keep that in mind, that there's really some, and sometimes that's what's cut. Oh, okay, cut that. I did a picture with Donald Sutherland, who was so incredible to work with. And I was intimidated the first day because I had never met him, and I did admire him enormously. And I came into this picture, and our first scene was going to be in a bedroom. We're a married couple in a bedroom, and I'm going to be in bed with Donald Sutherland. I don't know what to do. Okay, we get there, and the room was too small to shoot the way they wanted to, so I got not to be in bed with him. So that worked out. So that scene worked. Everything worked. And there was a very, very big scene I had, and it went very well. He was a wonderful director who died too young. And Donald had a similar scene there was a similar scene in the picture. They cut mine and used his. Oh. Well, you know what? It was so good. How could you argue? You couldn't argue with it. And you didn't need both of them. So if I were editing it, I may have picked Donald over me too. So okay, it hurts, but okay, I get it. It's when you don't get it, when they cut something out that's like, oh, geez, why they cut that one look better, you know? So you learn a little bit about film, about when to do things, because when they're going to cut. And if they're not looking at you, they're going to cut. So you got to cut it in, make sure you get it in on camera, because otherwise it's going to go bye-bye, right?
Sometimes.
A lot of times. So you learn a lot about those kinds of things. And I don't know what question you asked me, but I gave you that crazy answer. But I guess just working with Donald Sutherland was pretty spectacular. Just spectacular. He's an extraordinary actor. It was a film in which, before The Sopranos, where he we were a mafia family living nicely in the suburbs. And he goes to a shrink. So it's very similar to what happened on The Sopranos later. It's a very good picture. They didn't have a lot of money to promote it. Anyway, enough of that.
Okay, folks, we've got just a few minutes, so if there are a couple more last questions.
Yes?
It's always sad when something ends, but how, when 99 was eventually canceled,
Yep.
how did they tell you?
The usual way.
Which was what?
It's called go away.
Because I know from hearing other people talk about that, sometimes they don't even bother. I read a story of June Lockhart when Lost in Space was canceled. They were expecting to come back for another whole season because the show had been doing well and they'd been getting great ratings. And then she found out by reading it in the trade papers. They didn't even have the decency to call her in first before they published it in the trade papers.
Wow.
It wasn't anything like that for you, was it?
No. I don't remember what, but we weren't surprised. It wasn't ugly. We stayed a little longer because the kids had to finish school.
Right.
It was a graceful end.
Well, at
and,
least
and
they were
such.
good about it then.
Pardon me?
At least they were good about it too.
Yeah, they were, no, they were grown-ups. There are some ugly moments in the business. The business can be hurtful to people.
Yeah.
Again, you need that skin.
Yep.
To
Because
take it.
I've worked with a few and you
Yeah.
have to protect them.
It's tough, and it has its own mores, some of which are acceptable, some of which are not at all. And you just find your way in it, which is what I had to do and didn't. And like I say, not a lot of people told me what to do. I just told what I want. Agents would be wanting me to do stuff I didn't want to do. I spent a lot of time saying no. And okay, they didn't like it. I don't care. I don't want to do it. You know. The fun time for an actor is the agent calls you and they describe the role. Oh, she's a kleptomaniac who drinks. Oh, goody, goody. You know? Oh, that's fun to play. And then you get the script and none of that's there. What were they talking about? You say, yes, dear, hello, dear, are you here yet tonight, or whatever. What were they talking about? So in between the time the agent calls you with a manager and you get the script, you're having the best time thinking about playing this kleptomaniac, dipsomaniac, and she's not even on the script. So you say no. And they say, why? Why are you doing this? This is a good director. This is the, this is this. I'll get you that. I don't care. I don't like the role. I don't want to do it. I just turned one of those down. I love the people doing it, but I didn't want to do the part. And it's hard because you do. I want to work. I do work still. And why am I there? One of the first things I do when I read a script, if it's a good script, I say, well, what am I there for? They could just give it, here, read it. What do I bring to it more than, go ahead, you want to read it? Good script. That's my obligation. What more can I bring to it? Is there a reason they want me? Okay. Oh, I could do this. Oh, and it begins to have its own life. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm there. They don't need me. Just hand out the script, you know? So, it's that in and out thing that probably I wouldn't be able to stand it if it was all very much level. The ups and downs and the craziness are probably very attractive to me. Must be, or I wouldn't be enjoyed it so much through the years.
Okay, we're gonna do one more question.
One more
and it's,
question, okay.
Guy back there.
I'll give you a crazy answer.
Yeah, yes.
Not a question, just a comment. It's kind of funny.
What?
In 1975, when the show came out, I was stationed at Williams Air Force Base in Arizona.
I can't hear you from here.
Come on up, come on up.
I'm sorry.
In 1975, I was stationed at Williams Air Force Base in Arizona.
Oh.
And my daughters were 6 and 2.
Yeah.
And when they would hear the theme song for the show, they would come running in. So the theme song had a real big impact on I think everybody that saw the show.
Oh,
So thanks for that. All right.
Thank you. You know, that's very important. What would we have done in Mission Impossible without Lalo? I I mean, just think about it. Lalo Schifrin wrote that song.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. And the same thing here. Yes, those things are critical, and a lot of people don't really notice them, or if they do, they're not noticed enough.
Very great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of this particular panel. I just want to tell everybody that the next panel is being shortened to 30 minutes instead of an hour. That's the year 1 and year 2 panel discussion, which will be Warren, Roy, Catherine, and myself. 30 minutes instead of an hour. And then I think we'll be back on schedule. Catherine and I are just going to take Barbara back to her autograph table. So people who want to get her autograph can go there as well. And we'll see you all later.
Thank you, Barbara.